Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading for October the 3rd to the 9th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So check out your other placements because you could have messages waiting for you there as well. Okay, my friends, let's get started and see what is the energy around the week ahead for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What is the energy for the week ahead? Oh, we're getting some interesting cards here. Okay, this one flipped. And we'll see what's on the bottom of the deck. Peace in reverse. To be fair, time to go. Building blocks. And regeneration. Wow. You know, at first glance, Capricorn, this looks to me like it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go and start building a foundation and something that is really, really for you. You know, something that brings you to that feeling of inner peace. And this might be in short supply right now. You might not be feeling terribly peaceful within. You might be feeling like something has to shift. This is a time for this idea of peace to take hold. Even though there might be some kind of temporary situation right now that's causing you to feel a lack of inner peace, it's almost like you're being guided here to not look to the outer world for any sort of certainty, and to remember that idea that this shall pass. And once again, you'll be filled with this inner peace. This is an interesting moment though, because I feel like right now you're shaking your head and you're saying to yourself, is this gonna pass? And it's exactly in those moments that we need to sort of hold fast and say, yes, this is gonna pass. I feel like Capricorn, you're going through it right now, and you have been for a number of months, but this feeling is gonna lift. And seeing that time to go card is making me feel like, even if it sort of feels like you've come to the end of your rope and that all hope is lost, that it's not. All hope is not lost. And that actually you're in a situation that could come back to life at any moment. And it's interesting. You should almost see this as a break rather than an ending, and that there is a destined change here for you. And that it's like if I almost feel like you could lose it all right now. But if anything, you have so much to gain if you can just surrender to this idea that your soul knows it's perfect timing for everything. And that these synchronicities that can happen at any moment to sort of shift everything are present still here. And that the amount of self-doubt you have does not need to be the focus right now. And if anything, there is this map of destiny that your soul understands, even if you don't. So there's a lot of messages here for you to sort of trust things. And you've got card 45 and 46 here, which I want to show you right here. And you've got both of them in reverse. Can you even see the numbers? 46 and 45. I'll show them to you upright. That might be easier, Marie. Hang on. There we go. That's it. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust the camera and hold cards at the same time. So this is interesting. So you're moving towards something that's building. And it might feel like right now that these endings are actually causing you a lot of despair. I feel like you're in a moment of despair here, and you're seriously wondering, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? That seems to be very pertinent question here, but it's important to remember that sometimes endings come in so many forms that it's not necessarily a time here to stop holding on to things, you know, because something else could take its place. So it's this idea of like, don't hang on to things just because you're afraid of endings, because this ending could bring about a beautiful new beginning for you. And it's like your reading is pushing you to understand the natural cycles of life, that, really don't be afraid of these endings. There's no need to struggle or even to grieve some of these endings. Whatever it is that you're really concerned about, let it go, because you're about to be reborn, is the message of this card. And I feel like you're building a solid foundation, and it's one that's almost like it's building exponentially. And I know for some of you, you're watching this and thinking, what is she talking about? Everything feels like it's collapsing around me. But it's just in those moments, those exact moments where we feel like nothing is holding anymore. Like the pattern is becoming almost very weakened as we go day by day. That's actually exactly the time when you're sort of building a foundation without knowing that you're building a new foundation. And it's only when something in life shifts in front of your eyes that you start to really be like, oh, okay, so I guess I need to let this go. I guess I need to trust that this is all going to pass, and it's all going to lead me to a new beginning, a new rebirth. Do you know what I mean? This is a time to sort of see things get addressed fairly in your life. This is a time where you may have felt like things were happening unjustly, and you might have felt like, why me? And that you couldn't possibly make a difference here, but actually you can. And the situation that's surrounding you right now is bringing you to your highest good. And it's pulling out of you this idea of courage, kindness, and empathy, and fairness. And I feel like it will bring you back to inner peace, but that right now it must feel like really sort of shifting, right? You're in the middle of the shift right now. Wow, it took me 7 minutes to clarify that for you. Let's jump into the tarot cards, Capricorn. What's going on? It feels heavy. There's your Two of Pentacles. Yeah, you've got lots on your plate right now. Like you may need to decide on a direction here, but I feel like the cards are guiding you to sort of tap into this will, this very positive, constant energy where you're very charismatic and confident that all will be well, and that you're on the right path, and you're following your soul's purpose, and you're not hanging on to things just because you think they're dead ends, you're not hanging on to things that seem like dead ends, and you're also not releasing things that have promise. Like, it's interesting. It's almost like you've got to go with the flow right now, and you've got to stay balanced in that flow right now. There's the Ace of Pentacles, wanted to flip over. There's a new beginning here for you, and it's coming in. There's the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, this could involve some sort of offer coming towards you, an emotional one that is connected to you. It could even be this new opportunity is coming in through an offer. It's coming in as an offer. This feels like it's going to really change things. This could also be that for some of you, something's coming back from the dead, in some way, shape, or form. Something that you had written off is coming back, and it's bringing in a new opportunity that's in balance and in harmony with you. And you're overthinking it because you're freaking out. And I get it, Capricorn. I get it. Like you're overthinking outcomes, and you're sort of dreading things. You're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do if? And you're already thinking worst case scenario. But it almost feels like something is coming in that's in balance. It's going to allow you to be yourself, and it's going to be really successful, but you've got to surrender to this. I feel like you're trying to force the river to go in a certain direction because you're convinced that there's only one way up the mountain. Well, it's not just one way. There's many ways up the mountain, and your soul knows which one is right for you. So let it drive. Surrender to it. Release those fears and anxiety and replace them with faith, trust, and belief. There's the King of Rods right under the Queen of Rods and next to the Lovers. I can't ignore that. I can't help but feel like for some of you, you're coming into a divine partnership here. Something that's like really meant for you, and that's fair, and that's just, and that mirrors you, and that reflects you, and that you're going to be able to build a foundation, but you may have to let go of some things to get there, and you may have to let things sort of come to life naturally. I feel like you can't control this. This is out of your control. So I almost feel like guiding you to just vibe high, but it might be hard for you to do that, to sit in joy and to sit in happiness and to get out there and dance and laugh and enjoy the sunshine and to really, really heighten your vibration through those positive high vibe activities. That's what you need right now. You need to almost be focused on, you need to be really focused on everything that brings you those feelings, instead of feeling like there's no way to possibly move ahead and that you've somehow made a wrong choice. Like, I feel like you're almost sort of focused on thinking that you've done something wrong when actually things are clearing up for you. It's very interesting. We see the Six of Wands in reverse here with the Hermit in reverse, leaving the Chariot upright for you on the bottom of the deck. Now, seeing that Six of Wands in reverse is interesting because that makes me feel like you've been relying on the external world too much, that you're looking for markers of your success outwardly, and that you might be becoming very pessimistic, almost resentful, right? And it's because you're busy comparing yourself to others. That's got to stop, Capricorn. You're not going to see your truth anywhere but within. By comparing yourself to others, you get two results. You either get an inflated sense of ego by thinking you're better than people, or you get a diminished sense of self by thinking you're not doing as good as other people. You're on your unique path, right? Everyone is. And so comparing your path to another person's path, like I said, it does nothing but sort of, it expands the idea of illusion in your life where you think you're better or worse than someone, when really we're all having a unique experience here. There is no comparison. So that exercise is hurting you within by doing that. We also see the Hermit here in reverse, which makes me question whether or not you're hiding out, withdrawing from people, and you're actually very lonely doing that, but you're forever seeking without healing. Like you're looking for things to shift your energy, except for the healing energy that is within you already. And I feel like that's why we're seeing that Peace card here, because it's almost like in your space of solitude, there's a lot of healing you could be doing for yourself by sort of reflecting on things deeply, right? By contemplating and soul searching, sort of even taking time to sit in meditation with some questions that you have. Instead, it's almost like you're sitting in isolation, comparing yourself to others and coming up feeling like you're not enough, or that you screwed up, or almost like you're punishing yourself, to be honest. Instead of surrendering in a way that empowers you, I feel like you're taking this path that is like almost like one of resignation, where you're sort of just being like, there's nothing I can do about this, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here and feel like crap and think that there is no hope for me, when really that is just causing the stagnation and self-sabotage, and that you could be holding on to something that's not meant for you, and you're letting go of things that are meant for you because of how bad you feel about yourself, because of all of this overthinking that you're doing. This is not the vibe you need to be in right now. Capricorn, as much as you can, you almost need to try to lift yourself out of this. And we're seeing the King and the Queen of Wands, I think, because you need to tap into your will. You're a natural born leader, Capricorn. You are a cardinal sign, and maybe you were born as a Capricorn sun so that you won't lose faith in yourself in these moments. But I feel like that's happening right now. And you know, it's almost a time for you to really tap into that fiery side of your will that says, I can do anything I put my mind to. and to really hone in on your creative passions here, to feel that joy of expression that I was talking about earlier. And somehow here, it might be helpful if instead of thinking just about what's going on for you, find a way to be of service to others. Because sometimes that's the best way to get out of our heads, is to be of service to others, to use your creative, passionate, and sort of like your personal power, right? Like to use what you're good at creatively and what you feel joy doing to serve others. That could get you out of this a little bit here. We're seeing the Knight of Swords. There's big changes moving towards you, Capricorn. And I feel like it's pulling you in a direction that says, again, there's the Hangman in reverse. What are you doing to surrender to this? Are you trying to change the whole flow of the situation, or are you just going with the flow, trusting that all will be well? You know, and getting distance from these limiting beliefs that you're holding. You might need to get distance from those limiting beliefs in order to see what would be fulfilling. You're so busy thinking about all these limits that maybe you need to spend some time thinking, well, what would feel really fulfilling to me, without being attached to the outcomes, like thinking in a higher perspective, to say, well, it brings me joy to do the following. Well, how can I do the following and be service to others, without sort of picking an outcome that's very concrete? I feel like you'll just be opening yourself up to the possibility that all will be well, and that you have a lot within you to share. You have so much creativity here. It's interesting, the King and the Queen, it's like bringing yourself into balance with your creativity and your passions and what brings you joy. That's going to bring in the abundance. For some of you, you might be concerned about where your resources are coming from. Well, there's the Ten of Pentacles. It's in the mail. It's in the post. Like, this is all happening here. There's the High Priestess, but you've got to listen to that inner knowing, that inner voice that's guiding you towards that by shifting your perspective. Look at that. Ace of Swords in reverse, pointing directly back at you, saying this is in your head. This whole life is operating in your mind. So you need to shift how you're thinking about things. I feel like you're thinking very limitedly. Limitedly? Is that a word? Your thinking is very limited right now, and that's not helping you to feel that inner peace. You're burning out. There's the Nine of Wands, and there's the Five of Pentacles, but nice in reverse, which says to me that you're about to reverse things for yourself when it comes to this perception of loss and lack. I feel like by focusing on feeling good, on doing what brings you joy, put more energy behind that and less energy behind these worries that you have and this limited belief system, because you're lying to yourself. You're fooling yourself. The mind is very good, though, at making whatever we focus on expand. So there's the Hermit coming out in reverse again. We saw that here as your final card in this deck. So really, really being mindful and conscious about what you're doing in your time. How are you spending your time? What are you focusing on? What are you imagining? What are you envisioning? What are you thinking about? What are the narratives running through your head? Are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling isolated? And what are you doing about it? How are you spending those moments of your time? And how are you shifting in and out of that feeling? Very interesting. I do see that lovely Ten of Pentacles for you. And that Nine of Cups. You've got two really amazing cards here. And you've got the Knight of Cups. I can't help it. And the Ace of Pentacles. You're moving towards a new beginning, Capricorn. You've almost just got to get out of your own way a little bit. And I know that's a bit vague. Let's see here. What do you need to surrender or surrender to in order to sort of bring yourself to this inner peace and regeneration? Ooh, we got two cards flying out of the deck. Okay, surrender procrastination. Interesting, Capricorn. So it says here, now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action attracts success. So instead of sitting in isolation and thinking, you know, nothing's going to change for me, Put some energy behind what you want to see expand and see what happens. We also see here surrender to wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Bottom of the deck is surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you feel energized and happy, move forward. And that's exactly it. Right now, you're your worst enemy a little bit here, Capricorn. And I say that to you because I'm not sugarcoating anything. What are you sitting in? Are you sitting in something that is draining you and making you feel uncomfortable? Or are you moving towards things that make you feel joy, energy, and happy? Energized, right? You need to shift a bit here. Trust the wisdom of your body. Do something towards where you feel that joy. So let's say you feel joy when you're creative with art and maybe with music and dance. Then get out there, do some art, be creative, dance. You know what I mean? Like, do what lifts you up, because right now you need it. You need it big time, and it could be the source of your abundance and prosperity. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me. If this has resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. I love to connect with you guys through these readings. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below. I'm sending you so much love and light, Capricorn. Take care. Looking forward to reading for you again soon.